Hey everyone, what's happening? What's going on? Welcome back to the Bemersite channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the year of manufacture plates for Connecticut cars. Now, this is a pretty cool process that I discovered recently, that you were able to use the old blue license plates that were issued probably from the 1960s through maybe 2001 or 2002 when Connecticut went to the newer plates. In this video today, I'm going to show you the process and describe how you can get these plates for your car. And don't worry if you're living in another state, pretty much none of this will apply to you, but it is probably going to fall along similar lines, similar guidelines in your state. They may have different requirements, but generally speaking, year of manufacture plates are for vintage or classic cars. And in Connecticut, you can put this on a plate, you put this plate on a car that's 20 years old. I think California has stricter requirements, of course. California seems to always have more strict requirements. For example, I believe you can only use these types of year of manufacture plates up into the 1980s right now in California. But for Connecticut, you can use these plates on anything that's 20 years old, as long as that plate was issued in the year the car was built. So let's talk about my car here, for example. Right now I'm sitting in my E32. This is a 1990 735iL, and this has classic plates on it from Connecticut. And yes, this is actually my plate, Alpina. This is an Alpina tribute car I've been working on for the past year. And so, yes, the first step is to get a classic vehicle plate. These used to say early American in Connecticut, and now they've switched over to just classic vehicle, which I think better represents all classic cars because this is German. It's not an early American, and you may have an Italian car or a French car or whatever. And so your first step to getting an old blue plate on your car is to get this classic vehicle plate. If you have like a modern, one of the new reflective plates that has like a blue and white transition, you're not going to be able to use that to get the year of manufacture plate. Step one, I'll just keep saying it over and over, make sure your car is registered with a classic registration. Here's a look at one of the vintage plates that you can purchase on eBay or get at swap meets or whatever and put on your car. And I think these look really cool for a period correct look, and it's pretty unique. You know, people are going to be asking, how did you get that plate? How are you using it? And in Connecticut, you're able to use something called YOM, year of manufacture. And you can use that plate so long as this was issued in the same year that your car, the model year of your car, was built. And so this is kind of a unique thing that we get to do as classic car owners, so why not take advantage? And in fact, Connecticut actually, through legislation, tried to end this several times. I believe the most recent was in 2012, 2013, and then maybe again in 2015. For some reason, they're trying to pass legislation to remove our ability to use these old plates on our car for some reason. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's probably only a few thousand people who are running these old plates anyways on vintage cars, and so I don't see what the harm is really. But yeah, they're trying to do away with it, so maybe now's the time to get your application in, get it approved. Maybe it will be grandfathered in the future, meaning that once you're approved now, if they do pass legislation in the future to end this program, it's possible that you may be able to continue using an old plate on your car because you're granted like a previous permission and a grandfathered status. Okay, so let's talk about this plate really quick. This is, as you can see, there's an expiration sticker here for August 1994. Now, when you're searching for these plates, looking at just the sticker, the expiration is not going to tell you the year of the plate. So just because this says 1994 doesn't mean this is a 1994 plate. Okay, this was actually back in 1993, they issued 1-year registrations. So this plate was most likely issued in August of 1993, and it expired 1 year later in August of 1994. And I can tell this is a 1993 plate because of the letters here, H This first series, H and J, it went alphabetically, was basically, these were issued in 1993. Through maybe in 1994, it switched over from J to another series, but as far as I can tell, this is accurate for a 1993 car. So if you have a 1993 BMW 850, this is a plate that you will need to get this approved to put on your car. Now, before you submit your application, you're going to need a color photocopy. Has to be color, full-size copy of the license plate. That's how Connecticut DMV is going to inspect the plate. They used to do it in the office, used to go to DMV and bring the plate in with you, and it could get approved on the spot. But now I guess they have to do research in the back end, make sure that that plate was actually issued for the model year of the car that you're applying. And according to DMV, they have that information on file, and they have to do research, do their due diligence, basically. And so when you're applying for your plate, you're going to need that color photocopy. Here's one that I filled out for my E28. That car is from 1984. And as you can see down here, the expiration sticker is January of 1985. And back then, we know that the expiration on the reg was 1 year. They were valid for 1 year. So working backwards, I can tell this plate was actually issued in January of 1984. So since it was issued in 84, I'm able to use that for my 1984 model year vehicle. Another thing we use to do research is the series of letters again. And this B series was issued in 1984, possibly through 1985. I've seen other plates that start with the letter A. Those are pretty rare and hard to find, and I believe the A series started maybe in 1982 or 1983. Okay, so once you have your color photocopy, you're going to fill out your form B320. You're going to mail that in, and it's going to take at least 12 weeks. I actually waited about 14 or 15 weeks for mine to get approved, which felt like an eternity, and basically took up the entire summer driving season. But I did get approved, and what happens when you get approved is they're going to mail this exact form back to you. And it's going to have a little stamp at the top that's in red ink that says Connecticut DMV, and the DMV inspector will have their signature and date at the bottom. You're going to fold this guy up, keep it in your glove box. You can take your classic plates, take them off the car, and you have to keep them in the glove box or in the car at all times. Then you can mount your single vintage plate like this one, mount that to the car, and hopefully you don't get any trouble from the police. Let me run through the steps one more time. Okay, step one, you're going to need a classic registration. You cannot have like the modern commercial or any other type of plate. It has to be this white classic vehicle registration. That's step one. Step two, fill out your form B320. Step three, make a full color photocopy of the license plate which you wish to submit on your application to get approved. All right, now let's go outside, take a quick look at this E32. I'll show you the plates that I have on it, and then we'll take a look at the other plate on my E28 as well. If you have any questions at all about putting a year of manufacture plate on your car in Connecticut, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm also going to put a page on my website, on the blog, which describes how to basically decode the number and letter series and the different styles of plates so that you can figure out what plate you might try to submit to get approved for your car. And that can be frustrating. Thankfully, my research held up pretty well. Well, it worked. I was able to get 2 cars approved to get the year of manufacture plates put on. And that's going to take some research on your end before you buy plates on eBay or get an old plate from your garage that maybe your dad or your grandfather, one of your grandparents had, to put that on your car. So you're going to have to make sure that it's the exact same year. If you have a plate issued in 1985 and your car is in 1983, it's probably going to get rejected, and you will have waited 14, 15 weeks just to get that rejection. So doing your research to make sure that you get the right plate, or make the best effort that you can to submit what you think is the most accurate plate for the year of your car, is essential to not being disappointed and not wasting your time by waiting 3 or 4 months and getting rejected. As always, thank you for watching. I hope this video was interesting, might be extra interesting to you guys out in Europe or around the world, wherever you are, to see, how we're allowed to use these old plates on our cars. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.